So look at this. The method of Vedanta is techniques of what we today call existential phenomenology, which means doing phenomenology on the nature of your existence itself. Phenomenology का मतलब है ये सब, these are big sounding words, but the technique is very simple. Phenomenology means how does anything feel to me? These are the way in which subjective experiences are studied. So existential phenomenology means you are trying to understand your existence, the nature of your existence, not the nature of your thought process, the nature of being itself, existence itself. इसको कहते हैं existential phenomenology. So techniques of existential phenomenology you will find in Vedanta, and what I told you just now was meditation and Panchakosha Vichar. This Bhruguvalli story actually indicates Panchakosha Vichar. Analysis of the 5 sheets we are wearing, so that we know we are the self which illumines the 5 sheets from within. We are that. देखिए, if this was some knowledge about some object, still you could have debated, yeah, is this right, wrong, should I do it, should I not do it? It's your own being that we are studying. So you can't but be interested. Now, I better stand here.
He can operate in this.
Yeah, I will stand here. So next, please put next. After this. So you see this picture. Is awareness in your body, or do you find body in your awareness? You gave me the answer, body we find in our awareness. Huh? What about your thoughts? You find your thoughts in your awareness, or is awareness another thought? Tell me. अरे सोचो थोड़ा.
Thoughts and thoughts.
You find thoughts in your awareness? Are you sure?
Yes.
Very good. Very good. See, because how do you know this, Even when you are not thinking, you know you are not thinking. Which means what? Thought happens in awareness, and awareness is not another thought. ये logic आपको पकड़ में आया? You understood the logic of it? You are the witness of not just your thoughts, but even the absence of the thought process. Which means you are apart from your thoughts. That is why you will always find your body and mind in your awareness and not vice versa. Right? Go to the next slide. Now you see, when you are clicking a selfie, who is seeing what? Tell me. आप अपनी selfie देख रहे हो. This is practical Vedanta I am teaching you. Who is seeing what? Your mind is seeing your body, right? Now, who is seeing your mind seeing your body? Your intelligence is interpreting your mind seeing your body and appreciating how you look. And this whole thing is happening in your awareness. Your awareness is seeing your mind seeing your body. So, देखिए, the core truth about you obviously is your awareness. Body and mind are how you appear to the world. How you appear to yourself, you are only self-aware. Please check it out and see. ये इतना fundamental, obvious truth है कि we miss it. The most obvious things in life you miss. Like the clean air here just now. In Delhi, we have such a polluted. I came from 450 AQI today. Okay, there you suddenly become conscious of air around you because it's so bad. So what is already there and pretty obvious, we tend to miss it. Go to the next slide. Now you see, who perceives the thoughts going on in your mind? Suppose just now you are thinking all this. I should have been more mindful. Why did I have to respond like this? He has never behaved. So many thoughts going on. Many tracks running in our mind most of the time. Who is seeing that? How do you know you have been thinking this, all this? Tell me. Think and tell me. Unless you were apart from the thought and considering the pros and cons and understanding the whole thing, how would you know what you're thinking? Isn't it? What does this mean? What is the implication? It means you are quite apart from your thought process, quite apart from your mind. Thoughts are nothing but mind. Somewhere within you, you are so deeply conscious, you see your entire thought world objectively. That's why you know your thoughts. This is another proof of that you are self, you are the Atman. See, Vedant ऐसे ही study करते हैं. Just by thinking clearly, you can also detect absence of any thought process. Isn't it? In meditation, sometimes there are no thoughts. So that also you can detect, which means you are quite apart from the mind. Please see. Go to the next slide. Who lights up your dreams? This is an important question. Pravrajika Upanishad में तेजोमयत्वात् तेजसः say, which means you see, daytime all these lights are there. You go outside, sunlight is there. But in your dreams, what light is that? How do you see your dreams? ये light था वहाँ पर. But how you saw your dream? Tell me, what light is that? What light is that by which you saw the dream? Is the light of your awareness again. क्योंकि और कोई light वहाँ था ही नहीं. But you knew so many things in dreams, isn't it? Which means you have lit up the dream from within. See, the nature of our mind is such because awareness reflects in the mind. And with that reflected awareness, you see objects. So, whether the object is there or not, in dream, if you cook up an object also, you will be illuminating it from within. That's why I told you, the seat of your perception, your cognition, your memory, everything is the self. And not ये वाला light नहीं. ये ठीक है यहाँ पर, जहाँ है. But the inner light, this illumined self-consciousness, this is the primary light. It's the very seat of your experience. है ना? सोच के देखो आप. So you illuminate the whole world. In the Pravrajika Upanishad, there's a very beautiful discussion on this. Very briefly, I'll tell you in a minute. It's a discussion between the sage Yajnavalkya and sage Janaka. So Janaka is a Raja Rishi and Yajnavalkya is a Brahma Rishi. So Janaka asks Yajnavalkya, what lights up this world? And Yajnavalkya says, why? Sunlight. Then Janaka says, suppose the sun did not arise one day. It never came up. Then what will light up this world? Then he says, why moonlight? Moonlight is sunlight. But starlight, something like that, some other celestial body will light up. Then he says, suppose none of these came up. Then what lights up the universe? Then he says, why speech? Then he says, suppose you didn't have the power of speech. What will light up your experiences, your perceptions? He says, touch. I will make my way through the world through touch. Suppose all your senses also are inactive. You can't touch. Then he says, fire. I will light a fire. Suppose you can't light a fire also. Then how will you know something? Then he says, through awareness. So you are the light of lights. You light up all of this from within. So you see, everything, actually, the central piece is awareness. Because you are a self-aware entity, perception is possible, cognition is possible, memory is possible, everything is possible, action is possible. Your AI systems are not self-aware. Tremendous information, fantastic capacities, but no self-awareness. But you are a self-aware entity. Aapka uniqueness samjho. That you are pure consciousness functioning through a body-mind complex. And that is why you have first-person experience. Any form of experience includes consciousness. Consciousness is the heart of every experience, every perception, every meditation. Yahi samjha rahe hain yahan. Go to the next slide. Who perceives the absence of thought in deep sleep? See, all of us have experience of sushupti, deep sleep. So it was so restful, peaceful, no thoughts, no objects. How do you know? Who perceived the absence of thought? You experienced the absence of everything. It was not absence of experience, it was experience of absence. So who perceived them? You as awareness. ये इतना obvious है कि we don't see it. You as awareness perceive the absence of all thoughts also in deep sleep. So you see, Sushupti, Mandukya Upanishad is studying this wonderfully. It is proof that you are awareness functioning through a body-mind complex. More than enough proof is there. Go to the next slide, please. So you see, Panchakosha Vichar is what we did just now through Prabhuvari. This is another fantastic method to come to self-knowledge. This is the Panchakoshas, the body, prana, mind, intellect, the causal sheath, and finally the Atman. You are actually the Atman functioning through these sheaths and thinking, I am body and mind. So, even Abraham Maslow, must have heard Hierarchy of Human Needs. He was a great psychologist. He also said this: what is necessary to change a person is to change his awareness of himself. Once we have self-knowledge, you are at the helm of change. You can change anything in your life. If we are not deeply conscious, consciousness factor is not there, well developed, then only things become difficult, all sorts of mental problems, emotional obsessions, the difficulty, concentration, all this happens. But once we understand who am I, everything becomes easy to handle. This entire body-mind complex. See, this is unique to Indian spiritual heritage. ये जो self control है ना, this was always placed central to education process also, because if I can handle myself well, I can achieve anything in the world. Otherwise, no achievement will even mean anything if I can't handle myself. My own mind I can't handle, my own emotions I can't handle. What is the point then? So that is why all these techniques become very important, especially student life से ही शुरू करना है application. Go to the next slide, please. So you see, it is understood like this: the light of consciousness reflecting through this mind. You see, this ahankar, manas, buddhi and chitta is constitute your mind. Ahankar, antakaran, it's called mind, and its functional components. So the light of pure consciousness reflected in the mind, antakaran, is called chidabhas. It's a technical term in Vedanta. It is the light of awareness that pervades your buddhi. It generates empirical awareness, our sense of being. And this is technically called the jiva, the entity that designates itself as I. So this is the answer to the question, who am I? Pure consciousness reflected in the mind gives the sense of existence, being. इसलिए मैं हूँ. You see, this sense persists throughout life. The I am sense. Body and mind will keep changing, but the same I am persists. When you were a baby also, same I am sense was there. Toddler, teenager, abhi young ho, and when you get old also, same I am. You don't say that toddler was different, I am different. I was only that. I am remains, but body mind keeps changing. So इसी को track कर रहे हैं. So this is the definition of I, the real unchanging I, and the apparent I is the body mind complex. Next. So, how to seek this real I, the practical methods. अभी जो हमने किया वो वेदांत विचार था, how Vedanta sees it. But the practical methods are these 4 yogas given in the Bhagavad Gita. Sankhya Yoga है, the path of self-knowledge, Karma Yoga है, ध्यान योग है, भक्ति योग है. आपको पता है इसके बारे में. Some knowledge you will be having that through all these ways, yoga is nothing but a means to enter into the knowledge of Vedanta. So through all these yogas, you can come to first-person experience of this knowledge of Vedanta. Next. So Vishnu of Vedanta realized through the yogas. Bhagavad Gita, some verses I have put there. If you are interested, you can just go through them. Sarva bhutastamatmanam sarva bhutani chapani ikshate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarshanaha. True yogis uniting their consciousness with God. By God here is meant that cosmic consciousness, Brahman. See with equal eye all beings in God and God in all living beings. Ishvara sarva bhutanam viddeshe juna tishtati dhamayan sarva bhutani yantra ruhani maya. God exists in all beings as the self. ये जो आत्म विचार हम कर रहे हैं ना, that is the definition of God. Self is nothing apart from God. in Vedanta. So this is what they are saying. The Supreme Lord dwells in the hearts of all living beings, O Arjuna. According to their karmas, He directs the wanderings of the souls who are seated on a machine made of material energy. So realization of this vision through management of mind. See, I told you the greatest fallout of self-knowledge is you can very well manage your mind. एक बार ये ज्ञान आ जाए, you can handle mind best. So this is what is being said here. Asamshayam mahabaho manodurnigraham chala abhyasena dukaunteya vairagena chala. It's very difficult to handle mind, but you can handle it this way. Through abhyas, along these lines, through vairagya, you can get mastery over your mind. See, one who can get mastery over his own mind is the master of everything. You will master time, you will master energy, you can master people if you can master your own mind. है ना, सोच के देखो आप, otherwise you can't manage anything. So mind management, key to mind management is this actually, and this is the, you see, the great connection. Prashanta manasam dhyayam yoginam sukham